in delinquencies out there. Now, how do they come to this figure? Well, that's an estimate from Rita itself. It's not any sort of objective analysis of what we're doing, because there's really no way to know that, and Rita certainly does not know that. The administration and Rita claim that we can't collect this delinquent revenue because we don't have access to our federal tax information. That is a specialized database that the federal government produces of tax filers, etc., that entities of 250,000 and above have access to. Well, Euclid does not have that population, so we don't have access to it. So their claim, Rita's claim, is that, oh, you don't have access, you can't get this revenue. Well, the state of Ohio has access to that information. The state of Ohio has every incentive in the world to find folks that haven't filed their state income tax. Once the state is done with that information, they turn it over to our tax department, and then we compare, okay, the state says Joe Smith didn't file, he lives in Euclid. We then in turn go after Joe Smith. So from where I'm sitting, is that tool really all that? And the answer to me and the other three council members was no. It is not all that. But this is what the administration, they say that we need to do Rita to get a hold of this revenue. I asked this question on the council floor in December. I asked the director, Director Smith, our finance director, well, this $1 million that we supposedly have out there, is this a cumulative number or is it a year-by-year number? Now, mind you, folks, the federal law that says we can't get a hold of the federal tax information passed in like 2008, 2009. So, FTI, according to Rita, is the only way we can get a hold of this money. So when I asked Director Smith, well, how far back does this go? He said that we have $1 million outstanding last year, from 2017, 16, 15, 14, stretches all the way back. So in the logic of the administration's argument, we have $8 or $9 million sitting out there. And yet when I asked them, well, are you committed to collecting $8 or $9 million? Or, since I'm a fair and calm guy, who watch council meetings, a percentage of that, 50%, 60%, they say there is no guarantee. So if we don't have a guarantee on that, then we don't have a guarantee on $1 million, we may not have any revenue out there. So is it just Councilman Lyman being a pain like he always is, or is there facts and opinions to back that up? Well, when we had CCA come in to present to the city council, and mind you, one of the gentlemen that came to present has been in the tax business for 40 or 50 years. We asked him, hey, is there $1 million out there? He said clearly, it's speculation. Something that you sell a service for, it is speculation. There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay. Our own tax department, Mr. Kaplik is here from our tax department, stated clearly how we address delinquencies currently in-house. No pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And then finally, a couple of our council members reached out to various communities. Cleveland Heights, Niles, Lakewood, etc. Some saw an increase in revenue. Some did not. The city of Lakewood, who has access to the federal tax information through an agreement with CCA, we asked them, well, how much of delinquencies are you getting since this is the tool to uncover all this revenue? Their highest year, their best year, using the federal tax information that's supposed to get us all this revenue, $26,000. That's it. So, now folks, I'm not saying that Rita horrible or CCA horrible. Rita's they're marketing their service. They might even be right. But right now, there's not enough information to make that determination. Okay? We may not get any revenue out of that. So you may say, well, so what? If it's Rita or CCA or we do it, who cares? Well, And folks, I will be honest, back then, when we set up the tax fire, I voted against it. I said, no, bad idea, costs will be too high and all that. I was wrong. So if you see Bill, tell him, Councilman said, you were right, he would love it. But the point is that the department performs very well. It's a great service for our residents. I just had somebody move in next door to me, longtime resident passed away, relative moved in from another community. They didn't know how to do their taxes. They came to the tax department, they solved the issue for them. For the folks that are making very modest money, how many people are rich in here, by the way? Any rich people here? No.
Your hand's up.
Your hand's up, Daryl.
Daryl pay more in tax. We have a lot of very modest working folks here. Okay, sometimes their tax situations are complicated. We help them fill out their tax forms. Now, yes, that's a great service, that's very kind. It's also good compliance, because if they mess up their tax forms through Rita, they're not going to be able to get through it anybody that's going to help them. The customer service issues are significant, like it is with CCA. So it's also a compliance issue. When we help somebody fill out their forms properly, we're ensuring good compliance with our tax code. Mm-hmm. So you have the customer service issue. For me, doubtful on the revenue side. Why would I switch without a lot more information? Now, you may have heard some of our council colleagues say, Cleveland Heights increased their revenue, or Niles increased their revenue, this community increased their revenue. That's true. When we set up our tax department in 2005 and 6, we saw a revenue increase by $2 million. Now, is that all because we set up our own tax department? Ladies and gentlemen, no, it is not. That figure is a very high-level number. It has no value, there's no meaning to it. You have to drill down into what each community is doing, what their economies are like, who are their tax filers. Mm-hmm. You know, I hear about Cleveland Heights. If you look at the census information about Cleveland Heights and us, in Cleveland Heights, folks that earn over $200,000 is about 10% of their population. In Euclid, that's about 1%. I am not saying that that may not happen. You have to do a lot more work, and we didn't do that. It was presented to council as this is the best thing, and that's it. And I'm not buying it, not without a lot more research. So that's why I voted no. So why am I supporting what these folks do? Yes, I'm getting signatures. Because the government is yours. We work for you. You have the ultimate say. You want it on the ballot? Sign the petition. You satisfied with the way the administration went about the process? You don't have to. If it does make the ballot, then the ultimate responsibility is where it should be, with you, the citizens of the city. All right, that's my spiel. Have any questions?